Well, if you're building a house, you're probably not gonna just go ahead and start building it without any prep work and without any discovery and without any ideation on how the house should look like in the end. And I do strongly believe that it should be the same for websites. So that's why in today's video, we're gonna be covering the Flow Ninja discovery process. My name is Orosh and I'm the founder and CEO of the Flow Ninja Studio. And over the past years, we had a chance to work with some great companies which are publicly traded and also with some companies which are startups. And I can say that for every single one of them, the discovery session was one of the key areas that helped us be a really good partner for them. And on the other side, that's why we have really low churn and we also have really great NPS scores internally in the agency, because we ensure that whoever we onboard to the studio is actually a really good fit for us and can actually help us scale our business, and that we can also help them scale their business long term. So because of that, I want to go over on what's actually a discovery process. Just a little bit of story time. When I was kind of building my house, I just went to the architect and I said, hey, you know what? I have builders who are ready to start building in the next month or so. Would you be open to finalizing my whole house ideation and everything like that in the next month? Because I thought that's real. I mean, like, I know what I want to have like in my house, so let me go ahead and just do that in a month. Well, only after I've had the discovery session with my architect to understand how many more things I need to think about, and that I'm probably gonna be regretting the decision to do the project that fast and like to do the whole build that fast in the years to come, because I'm gonna be living in the house for a really long time. I mean, like as you would like use your website for a long time. Only after the discovery session, I kind of realized that I was rushing into things and that I did not take all of the things into consideration. So that's exactly how we structured the discovery session for us personally. We want to understand your competitors. We want to understand your current website, your current numbers, your numbers you're looking for to get with a new website, and are those numbers even real in the end? Have you had any user interviews? What are your goals for the year? What are your goals for the next 5 years? Is your website included in your sales process? How does your sales process look like? And like there are questions that go on and on and on and on and on about the complexity of your website as you scale your business. And you don't want an agency to go ahead and rip all of that apart, to rip everything that was working before, just to build a new website which is fancy, which is pretty, but in the end it might not convert you deals and it might not bring you the deals themselves. Because of that, I do strongly believe that understanding the discovery process and understanding what it does is really important and can help you grow long term and build a successful website in the end. So let's dive in. How does the process actually look like? Usually clients come to us, they maybe want to launch a website in a month or 2 months. They have some maybe unrealistic expectations. Maybe they don't have the right goals to know how can they measure if a project is a success. But they also come with quotes from other agencies which tell them that everything they just described is possible to do in a month. Where it's easy to take somebody else's money and like just say, hey, you know what, we're gonna build something in a month. But whether that is actually gonna be the solution that they need is always a question. So because of that, we created a multi-step discovery process to ensure that our clients align with our brand, with our company, and that we can actually deliver the services to the best way possible. The first part is gonna be the questionnaire. So even before asking like any additional specific questions, we send a questionnaire to our clients where we're going to be understanding their business. How we're going to be understanding that? We're going to be requesting a lot of assets to be sent. We're going to be understanding their core audiences. We're going to be understanding their business goals and what's been wrong previously and what are the objectives like with a website. With those data points, we can go ahead and analyze the current website, analyze the data points, and start preparing for the discovery meeting. On the discovery meeting, we're going to have a little bit of a unique setup. I mean, like a lot of agencies like maybe just go directly to design or something like that. But on our side, we want to ensure that we get inputs from all the different departments. So we're going to be having our marketing department, because we use our marketing more of a research and development, let's say, into our studio to fund new ideas for us and then to implement that on the client side. We're going to have our design lead to go ahead and lead the design side. We're going to have an SEO expert, and we're also going to be having a technical person. So every single one of those people is going to have questions and is going to want to understand how does the client actually want to proceed with the project, and also we want to showcase to them what are some of the obstacles we might encounter and what some questions we usually see popping up from our experience over the years. Then we go to analytics and research. Based on the discovery questions, and after we get like even more insights from the client on the specific use case, we go ahead into analysis and the research more deeply. So we might see how they want to position on the SEO side long term, where we want to position them on the market in general with this design. What are going to be our core marketing strategies? What's going to be our goal for the next 3 to 6 months, just to understand the overall scope of the project project and kind of how we're going to be approaching it further. And then with all of those things combined, of course, we're going to be doing our revisions with our team. We're going to be sending an output, which is going to have two things. One of them is going to be a document, which is probably going to be 20 to 30 pages long, where we're going to explain the overall strategy. So we're going to explain, hey, you know what? Out of everything that we just described, we're going to be having these pages on the website. These pages are going to be included in the scope. These pages are going to be really good to have long term, but are probably not going to be ready in time for us to go ahead and launch in the initial timeline. We're going to have the timeline for the website, SEO initiatives, target personas, sections, and how we want to structure the wireframes so that which pages we're going to have and which sections is every single one of the pages going to have, just to ensure alignment between both themes on what is actually the website we're building before we jump into any creative things in the end. And next to that, we're also going to be having a discovery presentation where all of these things out of this kind of really long document are going to be put together in a presentation that our clients can use to go ahead and reference their goals and to reference each project as success, and to also ensure that everybody knows a clear direction. And the best thing is how we like to structure a discovery process is that even if we stop at this point, if a client says, hey, you know what, I don't want to work with you anymore, they have a really comprehensive documentation on how to approach the project, maybe with any other agency in the end. So it's not like that you're wasting time on documenting everything, but it's more about refining the project even more. So let's jump into real discoveries. We spent more than 500 hours on discoveries in Q4 for a lot of clients, and it all depends on the use case and what problem are we solving. So for example, for Dijon, we solved the problem for internal resourcing because they wanted to focus on the website, but they just did not have internal personnel to do it. So we went ahead and developed a roadmap in terms of kind of what they can build on the website and how to build it long term, and in general put that to work for their marketing strategy long term. Then for Astrowatt, over the time their website stayed the same and the company grew by a substantial amount, which was not reflected on the website, and other brands seem bigger than they are compared to kind of market research. And on top of that, we wanted to figure out what's going to be the best way to go ahead and expand to new markets. That's where kind of the discovery session jump into hand for us to develop the initial launch and also to develop a long-term strategy. And then finally for Chipel, this was also a pretty fun one. They've been our client for a really long time, and when they wanted to do rebrand repositioning for their website, they came over to us to go ahead and understand how to build the website long-term and what are some of the good things that we noticed on the website, but what are also some of the bad things also in terms of the development side, on the Webflow side. What are some of the things they want to do easier on the website long-term so that even when we do redesign the website, reposition it, that in the end is going to be easier for their marketing team to use it long-term. So with that, do you believe that there are any values of a discovery session, or are you just like, let's go ahead and build it? Because I do think that there are places for both approaches. If you're just a really new company, you have no idea is your product service going to work, I would go ahead and suggest to go ahead and build it. But after you start getting traction, after you actually start having an impact from your website, I do strongly believe that like doing a discovery session is going to be a crucial thing for making your website your most valuable business asset, instead of making your website just something pretty you have on the web. Because I do strongly believe that the website is the core thing that you own kind of as a business, and that's where you should invest your budget in order to represent your business in the best way possible, so that you can create conversions directly to the website and also indirectly through sales when clients see your website and when they can get all of the answers answered on the website directly. So if you have more questions about a discovery session, feel free to leave a comment down below, or if you want us to do a discovery session for your business, you can schedule a link down below in the video. So here's what one of our clients had to say about like our discovery process and kind of how it actually helped them out, so that you can understand how it is going to be impacting your business and kind of what you can expect like if you do the opt-in for a discovery session.